everybody knows about risk management. It's like baby pips 101. Like everybody knows risk management, and there's a little bit of steps beyond the basics, which is intro level is risk 1%, and that's what everybody knows. But then you can get a bit more complex and say, depending on my setup type, depending on my model, and depending on how much exposure I'm on my account. Let's say I'm a swing trader, I can afford to take higher risk because I trade less often. I might take 3 trades a month, so I can do 2% per trade. But if I'm scalping and I take 3 trades a day, I can't do 2% per trade because I might blow account in a week. So there's that level of risk management. I think that's very well understood in the industry. Something I don't think is very well understood, because I didn't understand it well, was profit management. Is how do I manage a position? Because we might all take the same trade on TradingView, where we had a 10 pip stop loss and a 30 pip profit target. So it was a 1 to 3. But you might partial different, I might partial different. So we had the same trade and completely different ROI. So risk reward is one thing, and ROI, return on investment, is something else. And that's quite personal. And everybody has their ways of managing a position. And for me, that was a big journey, because I didn't have to change my trading at all. I didn't have to change my strategy, didn't have to change my risk. But when I got more efficient in my profit management systems, that's for no extra work. I actually optimized my portfolio. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts on profit management, because I don't think I've ever heard anyone really go depth into that topic.
I'm actually very discretionary. And it's hard for me to explain because, I don't know, I trade with a lot of other traders and we're all taking the same trades like you were saying. But we're all managing it differently. I think it just comes down to your comfortability. Like a lot of times I'm not comfortable holding my trade through the weekend or holding it into news, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
And it really comes down to like gut feel for me, you know?
Do you not feel like that level of subjectivity and going trade by trade allows you to introduce emotion, and therefore at times you're a human, you may make human error, you might get emotional, whatever, and that adds a level of inefficiency? Or in my view, I'd like to say, if I were to see a avatar of a professional trader, the perfect trader, I would say he would have a strategy that's completely objective, completely mechanical, completely repeatable, away from emotion. That's what I'd say the ideal is. So when I'm the same. I used to be the same completely. I was like, depending on the day, I'll take profits accordingly. But I started to realize, if I want to be this avatar of the perfect trader, I've got to be as away from my emotion, because if I allow room for emotion, at some point I'll mess up.
Yeah.
Which is why I've gone for, instead of discretionary, I've gone for objective profit taking.
Yeah. For me, it's like 50-50, because a lot of times my discretionary decision making is really good. And then at times it's like, oh, maybe I should have done it this way. So at times it saves me, at times it hurts me. And I'm okay with that. You know, I've just accepted it. And I think I'm at the point right now where, yes, sometimes emotions come into play, but I would be hard pressed. I think even with a mechanical system, at times they probably do come into play as well. But I've tried to find ways to try and automate my strategy as much as possible. It's just, it hasn't suited me, you know? So I just never really dove into it any further.
Fair enough. Raja, I know your risk management protocols, and you've given me some tips on that, but I've never heard you speak about profit taking. How are you managing your positions depending on the day in terms of profit targets?
One, it depends on how much you're risking, right? So let's say if it's like a Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to go at like 1 to 2%. But if, let's say, Monday or Tuesday, now, there's also another thing of letting your trades run. I get like maybe 15, 20 pips. Monday, Tuesday, 15, 20 pips. If I had profits Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I may let the whole thing run, or I may let 10% run. Like in the beginning, guys say, okay, like, you know what, I can't let my trades run because the trades, I secure profits, and then I see that price continue to run. That comes down to confidence, right? And in some way, you do know that price is going to get to a level, but there's lack of confidence, which says, okay, like, you know what? Let me just secure the position right now. And then you're like this, you're looking at the chart, you're like, damn, it's going where I wanted to go, right? And I'm like, the only way to solve that issue is to close 90% and leave 10% running. Or close 99% and leave 0.1% running, so you're still in the trade. Because as long as you're in the trade, you're going to build that confidence level, right?
That makes sense.
And maybe in like 2-3 months, you're going to let 10% run,
that makes
20%
sense.
run. But also in the same way, if I'm profitable, let's say Monday profits, Tuesday loss, Wednesday profits, Thursday, I'm going to up my risk to 5%.